got some hello, welcomes and well dones tonight. The first is Tracy Payne. Tracy already has a namesake in the business who does really, really well, Anne. So let's hope that Tracy does just as well for you and herself in her business. Obviously, also well done to Debbie Mattingly, who's also in Anne's team. So well done, Anne. And Debbie's just completed her first welcome reward. Kirsty Adams is in Lynn's team, and she's just completed her second welcome reward. So well done to everyone for joining the business and also for working it. So what I'm going to do tonight is sponsoring outside social media, because you see, there was a post today on one of the Clean Easy groups, the Clean Easy Success groups, by a guy called Mike Bibby. Mike's been in the business a long time, and he was commenting on he built a business before social media. So we've got to remember there's lots of people out there that aren't on Facebook, that really don't want to be on Facebook. And let's think about ourselves. If it wasn't for Clean Easy, would we be on Facebook or not? So let's just have a think about what we did before Facebook. And it says here, although it's a wee bit blurred because I had to enlarge the photo, better to teach a man to fish than to feed him a fish. You're better to teach someone how to fish for themselves than give them those fish, because then once you walk away, people don't know what to do. So what we're going to look at tonight is how the business can work when you aren't working. Obviously, you've had to put the work in, but these businesses can go out and keep working. Today, we went out and about with some of those lines, and tonight I'm hoping that those lines are working when I'm sitting here. And it's just the same as fishing. When you go out fishing, then if you cast one line, you may well catch a fish, and many people do. However, if you catch 4, 5 or 6 lines, then the chances are that you really will catch a fish, that you won't have a problem with that. You've got a bigger record of it. The first thing we need to do, though, is complete a prospect list. That's people that you know, not people that will do Clean Easy, because that generally doesn't work. Generally, the people who you think either need Clean Easy or would like Clean Easy don't want to do Clean Easy. However, the people who are busy and who you might feel don't have the time to do Clean Easy, they're the very ones that will sit and do it for you. So let's go back again to the time before social media, when people wrote Christmas cards. So who was on your Christmas card list? I still write Christmas cards because you can put notes in Christmas cards, and I like that. We've got a memory jogger in our blueprint manual, believe it or not, that starts off with people in jobs. Who do you know that's an acrobat? Because I can't think of another job that begins with an A. Who do you know that's a builder? Who do you know that's a carpenter? And so on and so forth, all down the list. I remember sitting doing that with one chap, and we came to B. And I said, who do you know that's called baker? He says, no, but I know somebody that is a baker. So use those joggers in whatever way you can to find out who you do. When you write those names down, then go back through them again and write down whatever information you have for them. Maybe their last address, a telephone number, an email address, whatever you have, another piece of information against them. If you're having a party, who would you invite? Now, as we get older, our list often gets smaller because we can't be bothered with some of the people that we used to invite to parties when we were in our 20s. We've kind of outgrown it. However, go back to your 20s. Think of who you know then. And if you've got family, who does your family know? Who's your daughter's friends? Who's your son's friends? Who were they at school with? Then you're looking for a list of your customers. Write down the list of customers, and I'll explain that in a wee while. Your prospect list is the most cost-effective line in the pond. It can often be the most successful as well. 3-foot rule, well, what is it? Nice and simple. It's whoever comes in to your space, if you like. Now you can enlarge that to 6 feet and approach them. But keep it certainly at 3 feet. Anybody that comes into your space, you want to be able to ask them. It's difficult. It's difficult walking down the street. I've walked down the street with a bundle of cards thinking I need to get rid of those. What will I do? All you do is stretch your hand out and say, hi, and put a hand out. You actually don't have to do any more than that. You might want to say, can I give you a card? But you might not. But the important action is to stretch your hand out with a card in it. But if you felt confident and knew what you were going to say, knew what you were going to do before you actually did it, do you think it would make you do it more often? And the card is the way to start. It is so simple. It's like, well, it's like taking a dog for a walk. Because once you're out there and you've got the dog on the lead, you just go for it. So once you've got a business card in your hand, you want rid of it. That's your aim. It's like putting a catalogue through the door for the very first time. It can be daunting walking up a path. So it can. It can be just as daunting with that card in your hand. So start with the card and choose when you're going to do it. Often it's quite good when you go into a shop. And just before you're going to leave, that's when you can say, excuse me, can I leave you a card? If you know anybody looking for some extra cash in their spare time, would you do me a favour and pass it on? Now, you might not want to say as much as that at first. You might want to do what I did and just say, excuse me, can I leave that card? And then you want to escape. But as time gets on, you get a wee bit more confident and you think, yeah, I can do this. Now, since and quite often what I do is go into a shop, not with a card, but with one of those, a shop ad. I want them to put the shop ad up. And all I say to them is, hi, would you be able to display this ad for me? And then when you're going, can I leave one for yourself? But since you've finished what you're doing, and the next person's often waiting behind you, you don't get asked any questions. So that's why I'm saying, choose where you're going to do it and when you're going to do it. Make it a wee bit easier for yourself. But if you are asked a question, have a phrase ready that you're going to use regardless. I'm really sorry, I'm late for it, I've got to go and meet someone. But if you'd like some information, can I post it to you? Can I email it to you? Can I Facebook it to you? Whatever you choose to use. Would you jot down your email address and I'll send the information to you? But once you become a bit more confident with that approach, you might want to take it a wee bit further. All you have to, it's so simple to say to people, what a lovely day. Oh, look at it, it's miserable again, which it has been here after 3 days of beautiful sunshine. The weather is such a safe topic. Sometimes they'll say, oh, haven't seen it, haven't been out all day. My response to that is, oh, never mind, think of all the money you're making. and generally they're not making a great deal and would like quite a bit more. If they have a wee grumble, then say, listen, we're looking for people that are looking to earn some extra cash. You can do it alongside your job. Do you want some information? And then you do exactly the same again. If you want to say, we use social media and catalogues to advertise really lovely things. Do you use Facebook? Find out. This is the confident you. This is not the beginning you. But it's amazing how quickly the confident you comes to the fore. They might ask, what kind of things? But don't take it any further. One, they're at work and you want to get on. So one of your business cards, pen. Listen, I know you're busy just now. I don't really have an awful lot of time. Will you jot down your name and an email address and I'll email information to you. When they're doing that, ask them, could I give you a call later? Would that be all right? Would that suit you? And at that point, you see, what you can do is say, would you mind popping your number down just beside your email address, and I'll give you a wee phone and just make sure that information got to you all right. Now that's nice. Keep it simple, but you can stop at whichever point you're uncomfortable. You don't have to take it any further with a card than saying, can I leave this? They might, if they've already said they're on Facebook, you can take your phone out, search for them, add them as a friend, and then you can message them. Get them to accept you. Tell them that you'll message them and you'll send the video. Then you can ask again, can I give you a call later to see what you thought? Now, they may well say, just contact me through Messenger. That's fine. But if you can get the number, and then you can chat to them. But there's more ways than just cards. And at first, it's really simple. Go back to the prospect list, because that's where you want the list of people that know you, whether it's even just the lady in the corner shop that you recognise and you've got her on Facebook. You know, there's lots of ways to get those people. Those people don't come to you because you've found them online. You've found them in the street and every day. And what you're doing is, there's nothing to stop you taking them to Facebook if that's what you choose to do. So you want to get that information out to as many people as possible. And the only way to do that is to talk to people. Find out who you can speak to. Some people don't want to. Let's not worry about the people who don't want to. Just find out who you can send it to. It's not just the people that you send it to that might be interested though, because they know lots of people. And if they want to help you, then they'll let you know who those people are. I use Make Money from facebookinfo.com and send that to them. Now, if you are sending it, either email is fine. However, if you are sending it via Messenger, do be careful. The links can be picked up if you're sending it to people who haven't asked for information. So do be careful when you're sending those links, because Facebook can pick up on them and make them toxic. So hand out business cards to everyone you meet. It doesn't matter whether it's a postman, a delivery man, or whoever it is. They get a card. They used to get an information pack, but we don't do that just as often now. We don't have the information packs, they're all online. But you can give those cards to people. Now the cards are really simply got, it's a company called Bid's Webshop, and you'll find it on the internet. A pack of 50 of these, and they come in lots of, I don't know if you can see those, sorry if you can. They come in lots of ways. Bits Web Shop, shop cards, £2.75 for 50. Distribute flyers and cards when you pass cars. As you're walking along the road, whether you're taking a wee dog out, taking your child out in a pushchair, you pass cars. Now, if you're on the passenger side of the cars, turn the card inside so that they can read it from the driver's window. If you're going past drivers' doors, pop it in the door. Collecting catalogues from the houses, and you'll notice I say collecting, not delivering, because often when you deliver, you get your card back. And you really don't want that card back because there's more than one person generally in a house. They have family that come to visit, hopefully. And if they don't, they might have carers that come to visit. You don't know who's going to be in that house. Do be careful when you're popping cards through letterboxes that there isn't a little dog just lying in wait who you're about to make their day. And believe you me, I think we've all been bitten at one time or another. You can put them in your catalogue pack as well, if you wish. Let people know that you want to talk to people. The shop cards, again, I said that to you, and all I say with those is, hi, would you be able to display one of those for me? And generally the answer is yes. Sometimes it's no, we don't have anywhere to put them. It's fine, their shop, they're allowed to make that decision. Hot pockets. Now, if you would excuse me for a minute, I'm sorry. I forgot to get one out of the drawer. But here is a hot pocket. Now, all this has is 2 cards stapled together with a little bit of sticky tape on the back and 3 cards popped inside it. All I do with that is put it on whatever flat surface I can find. Bus stops, because you know people without cars do clean easy, so bus stops is a good one. ATM machines, from the bank's point of view, it's not always the best place, but it's good for us because people use an ATM machine. Don't put it near the keypad. People put them sometimes at a block of flats. There's a buzzer entry system. There's people go in and out all of the time. Use your imagination. Put them wherever people stand, wherever people gather. Put a hot pocket. Don't put any more than 3 cards in the pocket. You don't want to waste your cards, and you don't want them to get pulled down by people cleaning bus stops and things before they're taken. If you have a car, put a sign on either the back or the side. It doesn't matter. If you don't want it to be seen, if you still work a job, if you don't want it to be seen, then pop it inside a poly pocket and attach it with blue tack to the side of the window so that when you're going out and about, people can see it. Always remember there was a guy in the business who used to always park his car at the end of a row in the car park because he wanted people to see the sign when they passed by, and that was the place he felt was best. Approach your customers. Somebody else will approach your customers because you see all those people who go onto your shop and like your products. Do you think maybe some of them might have had a catalogue? Maybe not, but chances are they might have done. And if they've had a catalogue, it probably means that they're someone else's customer. So if you want to be able to talk to someone, talk to your customers first. The internet, there's loads of free sites, loads of them. Just look for them. Just put free advertising, things like that in, and you'll find that there are people out there with ads on, but as well people selling things on internet sites apart from Facebook. They're selling things. Why are they selling things? Yes, they might not want them anymore, but it may well be that they want to raise some cash and are doing it by emptying the cupboards first. So why not ask them? Do you mind me asking, would you be interested in getting some information about earning some extra income in your spare time, part-time? We buy leads as well. You can generally get the offers. Go on to, there's companies called Advert Anywhere, Big Advertising, lots of places like that. Lots of places like that you can get you can get leads from if you wish. You can choose them to be in your area or a particular area. You can choose them in a specific category. All of those choices, though, cost you money. See, Davey's got his dog up now too. So, you know, those choices cost you money. So do be careful when you're choosing to buy leads as well. Talk to the person who brought you into the business so that you can, you know, find out a wee bit more about it before you spend your money. There's also people out there who have job ads out on the internet that you can approach. You know, people who are maybe wanting, for example, cleaning work after school, or, you know, cleaning work in the evening alongside their full-time job, things like that. So approach them, ask them. I notice that you're looking for cleaning work. I can't offer you any cleaning work in your area, but I did wonder if you were looking for some extra income, would you be interested in finding out how we retail online through social media and also with catalogues? And ask for referrals. When you talk to someone, when you talk to someone and they say, it really isn't for me, all you want to do is either message or ask the question, is there someone you know that might be interested in looking for some extra cash? I always use the extra cash. Text or email small businesses. See, every day as you're sitting there and maybe some of the vans are going past, text them. Excuse me contacting you. I noticed your van going past and I wondered if you were looking for another income stream around your self-employment. They're good people, they're self-employed, they know how to work for themselves, they know how to motivate themselves. There's also lots of self-employed people who have very quiet periods. Landscape gardeners or ground workers can be very, very quiet both in wet weather and in cold weather. So winter's not always great, but sometimes summer isn't either. Building workers often laid off in the winter, again in wet weather. We've got the ideal thing to do. Taxi drivers, generally they'll work at the busiest periods. When are the busiest periods? Well, unless you're in a great big town, the busiest period is usually in the evening. They've got all day to sit there if you wish. So think about the businesses that have their email, not their email addresses, some of them will, but their mobile phone numbers on their vans, they're all sign written. So, you know, have a think about it, jot them down, key them into your phone, and have a message already set up on your phone so you can just fire it off to them. I mentioned other people's ads selling items on the internet and other people's work jobs. Envelopes, I don't get a lot now, but I do still get some. When they're prepaid, all you want to do is pop a couple of cards inside them and post them back to them. They may not go any further than the mailroom or whoever opens the mail. Somebody picks them up. And in your outgoing mail, again, I send Christmas cards, so particularly at Christmas time, you want wee labels set up, just saying extra cash, extra income, you know, online and offline, if you're interested, and put either your web address or your mobile number, and just say text earn and your mobile number. Nice and simple. The one thing that I will remind you of is be enthusiastic when you're speaking about Clean Easy. Sometimes when we've been in the business and we've had a bad month, and we think, right, okay, yes, we've earned £400 before, but we only earned 200 this month. Then you think, yeah, well, you know, it comes over when you're speaking to people. But think about how it helped you, how much that got you out of a hole, however much it is. Think of someone who gets a pension, for example, and maybe gets £130, £140 a week in a pension. What if all you did was show them how to earn an extra £60 a week? That extra £60 is a huge difference to that person. It's nearly a third, well, it is a third of what they're already getting. That can make a huge difference to lots of people. Use stories when you're talking to people. Find out what they're looking for, you see, and then use stories. You know, just similar backgrounds, similar jobs. And don't hesitate. Don't procrastinate. Clean Easy's changed a lot of lives, an awful lot of lives. And maybe it's not changed everybody's yet, but that's not to say it won't. Then when you bring people in, remember Clean Easy is a network marketing business. It's very simple when you go out with catalogues, or if you do your online selling and you hit your 10 or your 13% every period. It's very easy to forget about the other things. But remember, we're a network marketing company. So duplicate it through the rest of the team. Compound effect. Everybody doing a little, we all make a muckle. And the Don Fiella book, the Basics book, explains network marketing really, really well. He does a napkin presentation, and believe it or not, it's something you can do in a napkin, just to explain in a diagram how you can build your team and how you make money from doing that. Sponsor weekly. Why? Because your team duplicates you. If they know you're bringing someone in every week, they'll bring someone in. But if your sponsor's not doing that, then you do it. What's to stop you? Use your own products. When I open my cupboard, yes, there's a Tesco product in there, the cream cleanser, because I don't think Clean Easy do one, and I actually quite like a cream cleaner. But there's floor wash, there's window wash, there's wipe out stain remover, there's sticky stuff remover, there's loads of stuff in there that are all Clean Easy product. You shouldn't buy anything from a shop that you can get from your own shop. So always have a look before you go and buy elsewhere. Attend your webinars, as you all are. Promote it to your team and any opportunity meetings that you can get to. Group trainings, company trainings, and the first one kicks off here, the Clean Easy Live kicks off here in just over a week's time in Falkirk. And I know that Bianca and Ursula I think it's Cheltenham you're going to, think so. So there may well be one quite close to you that you can attend, and they are worth it. Your tickets are ordered through your online your online ordering system, and of course the online trainings. Andy Boswell runs one too, intermittently, 3, 4, 5 weeks. It kind of varies depending on who's available when, and it's always a good training as well. People that you won't see on those webinars. So if you don't feel you need the meeting definitely needs you. The only way we will grow is if we invite our new people and we tell them how important, how good, how informative those meetings are.